All right. So I was waiting to do the preview video until the NHL finally got its act together and released the schedule, which they did earlier today. So Sunday, 7:30, Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and then we'll go on from there. So I'm actually happy that it wasn't the afternoon game. I saw mixed opinions there. I'm glad we're playing at night. I think that, everybody's kind of used to that. So we'll just leave it at that. Real quick. Being that the game is at 7:30, I'm going to have the live stream start at 6:30 on Sunday, right here. Okay. If I'm able to do a Patreon one, what's today? I lost days, guys, because I got so much work I'm doing for the intro and for this contest and everything. So I'm behind on everything I want to do. So I will, if you follow me on Twitter or on Patreon, I will let you guys know when the Patreon live stream will be. But for right now, what I know for sure is that 1 hour before face-off on Sunday, 6:30, I will be live right here on Flying Fluffy. All right, so let's get into just, not going to make this too long because I'm sure most everybody's already watched a preview or two. Now, I've said Panthers in 6, and I'm absolutely going to stick with that. I see people complaining that, Kucherov and Stamkos are going to come back and the whole cap thing and all of that. Whatever, man. I want to play Tampa with their best players because I want to beat them with their best players. As it is, they may set up and say, well, Kucherov wasn't 100% when we beat them in 6. I don't want them to have any excuses. I'm fine with that. Let them come back. Let them play. Take it to them regardless of that. Now, couple of keys that I think are going to go on with this series. Number one, we saw it those last 2 games. Vasilevsky looks tired, and we've kind of done really well against Vasilevsky this year. I am not afraid of him. And, we get into game 3, game 4. If he's worn out and maybe Bob needs a break, we throw out Drieger, who's got a better save percentage than Vasilevsky, and Vasilevsky has to keep dragging his tired ass out there. I think that's going to pay off at some point in this series because, look, we got 9 goals in the last 2 games against them. Now, I know Tampa wasn't icing their regular team. I'm not going to get into that. But that was still Vasilevsky in goal. You know what I'm saying? So, that first game is going to go a long way towards showing what those last 2 games, how much that meant at all. I see us, I want to say, we're going to win the first 2 at home. But, if the series is going to go 6 games, then that would mean we're going to lose another 2 in a row, basically. So, if we split at home, split on the road, let's see, we've got home ice, so game 6 will be in Tampa. That would be even better. Even though, it'd be nice to win it in game 5, game 7 at home, it's just as sweet to win it in game 6. And I want to get too ahead of myself, but that's what I'm predicting, and I'm sticking to it, no matter what. Even if we get swept, I still say we're going to beat them in 6. Figure that part out. All right, so keys for the Panthers. It sounds logical, but at the same point, we saw Barkov play against the Islanders a few years ago, in the playoffs. We saw him play against the Islanders in the play-ins last year. That dude can't show up. That Barkov cannot show up. Now, you could say he didn't have help. He was exhausted. That's fine. But that dude can't show up. The guy that we've seen this year during the regular season, if he shows up, that's key number 1. All right? Key number 2 is Sam Bennett. Just whatever we have to do to keep him on the ice, healthy, with Huberdeau. Now, I'm not saying Huberdeau's not the key, but in case you didn't notice, the key to Huberdeau is Sam Bennett right now. Okay? So, absolutely, that's going to come down to lines 3 and lines 4. We cannot just throw 1 and 2 out there over and over and over again, all right? Another key that's going to come up big here, okay, is taking advantage of our opportunities early in the game. Early in the game. Because for whatever reason, when we've gotten a lead against Tampa, we've pretty much held it. You know what I mean? Especially the last 2 games. But the point is that if we can jump on them early, even get a 1-0 lead in the first period, could be huge because then they have to come back, and it just gives us a different attitude, a different style of play available to us than trying to come back on them. We don't want them sitting back with us down by a goal or 2. That's not going to work out. So those early opportunities with our speed, I cannot say that enough. Those 2 games, the Tampa comes out and they think they're going to beat the crap out of us. And we're just like, screw you, we're going to skate right past you. Okay? Just forget about it. So I'm pretty sure that, Tampa's coaches are going to have something else in store. There's no way they're just going to go around headhunting like they did in those last 2 games and think they're going to win because we whooped them 9-1. So taking advantage of those early breakaways, Duclair, all right? And to a lesser extent, Barkov hasn't exactly been money on his breakaways either. But Duclair is like, I got to break away a game. He's got to bank some of those. We need that, okay? Because that changes how we can play, changes how they need to play. It's huge for us to get those early goals, those opportunities. We're going to get them, okay? Because we've got the speed over them. We've got speed and depth. We're going to get those chances. We have to bury them. Now, the biggest key, I already talked about the goaltending in terms of Vasilevsky. In terms of the Panthers, look, here's what I'll say. Everybody knows how I feel about Bob and Drieger and all of that. If Bob plays 2 goals or less and we're winning, Bob can play. If we lose a game and he allows 3 goals or more, kaputs, and Drieger's in until he loses a game. All right, that doesn't mean giving up 3 games in a playoff game is terrible, but at the same time, Drieger's numbers have been better than Bob or Vasilevsky's. So the fact that it probably is going to be Bob to start off, he should have a shorter leash actually than Drieger. I know Bob Stone Cold did the Lightning bad when he was with the Jackets a few years ago. To me, that's why I say, okay, you get the start. To me, that's the only reason why he should be the starter, even though he is the starter. I think what he did to Tampa Bay a few years ago earned him the right to say, all right, let's see if you can do that again. But if he even blinks twice, okay, if he even has a bad period, Drieger can come in. Whereas, like I said, for Tampa, if Vasilevsky shits the bed in the first period, allows 4, that game's over, okay? Because there's nothing that they're going to do. So, they're not going to bring in McElhinney. I mean, he's been terrible, all right? So, goaltending is an advantage for us, especially since we do okay against Vasilevsky. He's not like a Soros. This is not going to be Patrick Waugh from '96, okay? Vasilevsky's not going to come out and just suddenly figure out how to shut us down. We are going to score goals. What we are going to have to do is make sure that Kucherov, Stamkos, some of these other guys, Hedman's going to be coming back. We have to make sure that they don't hurt us too much, okay? They're going to get their points. They're going to get their goals. Stop it at 1, all right? No waves of goals, okay? None of this, we went to the second period, we're up 1-0, and then boom, bada boom, 2 goals in 2 minutes, and now we're losing 2-1. Let them get a goal and then clamp down, okay? So the shifts after we allow a goal, huge, big key, all right? What else we got? Defensively, Yandel. I got Yandel kind of covered up over here a little bit. I know I said I was going to go shopping and get some more cereal boxes. I'm going to try to go tomorrow. I'm not going to get into Big Town. That's too far for me, and I ran out of time with everything. But I'm going to try to find something to get a few more boxes, especially for Bob and Yandel by himself, or maybe Ekblad, and we'll see what else. I go by what's in the cereal aisle. If something resonates with one of the players, they get a box. So, Yandel. Now, we have all spent all season long wishing and praying that, okay, coach, let him have his streak, and then come the playoffs, you're going to be off to the bench. I honestly think that any chance of that happening went down when Ekblad went down. Right now Connaughton played pretty well the other night, and, if Tampa decides that they want to get tough, he may be a legitimate substitute. But it remains to be seen. If Yandel is going to play, he has to have an absolutely shorter leash than even Bobrovsky. Look, Q's in the finals, right, for Coach of the Year. He's obviously won cups. He's not stupid, right? He knows. I don't think he's going to have the cojones to put Yandel on the bench, number 1, because the locker room would pitch a fit, and number 2, because with Ekblad out, you do want guys that have experience. Now, it's not like goaltending where if Yandel is stinking it up in the first period, you can swap him out. You could bench him and go 5D, but that's going to get tough on you guys, right? So I think we're going to see Yandel, obviously, game one. I don't think Hugh's going to sit him, but I would not be surprised if Yandel costs us a goal or even a game to not see him again. That wouldn't shock me at all. Hugh is not going to mess around, okay? We only have so many shots at this with the core that we have and the salary cap and 2 good goaltenders. You're only going to have so many shots, and Hugh's not stupid. He knows that. So I don't think he's going to allow Yandel to just continue to hurt us. At the same time, let's just cross our fingers he doesn't hurt us, especially game one, because I think he's playing. I can't imagine a scenario where Hugh's actually going to bench him right off the bat. I think at the very least he's going to give him an opportunity, and then if he botches it, be like, that's it, Keith, you're done. All right? So, other than that, man, look, all right, we have depth, we have speed, they have the experience. We have the goaltending, we have home ice, and we beat the crap out of them more than they beat the crap out of us this year. I would be a little bit concerned about any of the games getting to overtime because of their experience. And we've got skill guys, they've got skill guys, but they have skill guys that are used to scoring in overtime in the playoffs, and we don't. So I would prefer not to see any of the games get to overtime. The one overtime game we went through this year, we lost. And obviously overtime is different during the playoffs. You just play until somebody scores, just as John Van Beesbrook. And so I'm not interested in overtime, especially you get to game 6, game 7. We Panther fans, you start talking about game 6 and 7 overtimes, and we just have apoplectic fix. We just can't handle it. It's just we just shut down like R2D2. It's just not good. It's just not good. There's no good memories, none that I can think of. No, that would be no. Just a lot of really bad memories. So no overtime. Can we just have no overtime? Can we just win the games and just be good? All right, so like I said, Panthers in 6. We've got a lot of edges in this series. I know Tampa's won the cup, but the way that we've played, the way that we've ended the season, and Tampa is really counting on, especially Kucherov. I mean, you don't just stroll onto the ice and be what you were. You're going to need 3-4 games to get back into the flow of things. I don't care who you are, and they may not have 3 or 4 games. If we start off winning game 1, game 2 in this series, this is the last thing I'll say. Panthers are the only team that have the opportunity, that have the ability to run away with this series, okay? Because we've got the goaltending, we've got the speed, we've got the depth. Tampa is going to have to really, really, really work hard to win this series, all right? And I'm not saying the Panthers don't have to work hard, but I don't think Tampa can run away with this on us, because if Bob has a bad night, we throw out Drieger, and it's a completely different look, and our defense plays a completely different game. And we've seen over this whole, the last 2 years, Bob has a bad game. You put in Drieger, and Drieger's like stone cold. Dude, maybe I'll shut him out. Maybe I'll, let him have a goal or 2, maybe. But I'd have to go back and do the research to see how many times, what the record is. If Bob has a bad game and then Drieger comes in the next game, I have to do the research and see what Drieger's record in those games are, because he has been pretty much lights out, man. I can't think of a time, very, very, very few times, where we've replaced Bob with Drieger and then Drieger let us down. It's just not happened. So that's why I feel good about this series, guys. All right, I'll wrap this up. I appreciate everybody's support. Like I said, the live streams, at least for the first 2 games, are definitely going to be 1 hour before face-off. I want to try to do a Patreon live stream. I know I keep saying that, but with this Upper Deck contest, which I'm going to have a video about tomorrow, the finals start tomorrow, okay? So I'm going to have a video up. I'm going to need everybody's help, because as of right now, I have no support from the team, from media members. I got zilch. Nobody will even talk to me. So we're going to have to do this on our own. Everybody's going to have some kind of a ground game if we actually want to win this, because apparently we're the only ones that want to win it for the Panthers. I can't get any response from anybody. I'm going to send direct messages today. I'm not playing around. I'm not afraid to ask. I tweeted to everybody, and I got zippity-doo-dah in response. So I'm going to send messages, and I'm going to keep knocking on doors, man. I mean, they have the Panthers haven't even retweeted, the team account hasn't even retweeted the upper deck treat that just says I won. So I'm kind of feeling out here all alone by myself on this, which is going to motivate me even more to try to win it. And I ain't using it as an excuse to finish in last place. Screw that. So, but that'll be tomorrow. Don't worry about it right now. We'll talk about that tomorrow. All right. Appreciate everybody's support. I'll see you in the next video.